Hillman on CliffCentral.com.
And here he is.
Oh, here we go.
What's happening, bro? I'm gonna try and get this name. I want to do it proper. I don't want to just go with Lexleo.
Let's see what exactly.
It's a doctor.
Uh-huh.
That's an easy word. Alexander.
Correct.
Faisy.
Correct.
Ruahani.
Pleasure
There we, and
to
he,
be here.
He did help me during that Taylor Swift song. So I got it a little off when I said it first. Listen, bro, you make it very difficult for me to even introduce you because this career of yours, all these different things that you've done, make it very hard for me to put you in a box and say, here's a musician, or here's a dentist, or here is a guy that does this in his spare time. So I don't even know how to kind of kick this off. How would you introduce yourself, Lexleo?
Wow. Firstly, thank you guys so much for having me.
Such a pleasure.
I think I was one of those difficult children, so I got bored very quickly. By way of introduction, it's really just another guy just trying to realize your own capacity. I think this is I always grew up with my parents saying, okay, look, you can always do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as long as you find some type of a route where you can serve humanity, go wild. So in choosing actual careers and then following other interests and talents and abilities, and I just kind of prioritized what I felt was more important. And then everything else around it kind of worked out. So I think the list is constantly fluctuating. There's a certain time in your life where you want to try this out and you want to do this and you want to do this. And whatever you figure out, I think like for anyone who's listening, whatever you figure out you really enjoy, pair it with a way at which you can actually add value to the world, and then pursue it and then do it until it's time for the next thing.
So really, you're just a millennial who's figuring it out. Because this is the case of millennials,
exactly.
Is that we actually have no idea what the hell's going on. Other human beings and other generations might not have admitted that they didn't know what was going on. But we're like, yo, I have no idea. Maybe this year I want to do that. Next year I want to do that. But you seem to follow through with all of it. I mean, you follow through and you go on and you become this unbelievable dentist. You're currently studying a master's in maxillofacial prosthetics and prosthodontics and dentistry. Then you're doing albums. You're making leather accessories for Kerry Hilson and Neo. It's like, I wonder if your mind ever kind of shuts down with all these things going on.
Unfortunately, it doesn't too much. I'm one of those. I don't sleep much. And when I do sleep, it's very light. I need to start working on that and giving myself a little bit more sleep because it's going to start catching up.
Yeah.
But one very important piece of advice that I have is if you start something, finish it. That's the most important thing. So you don't jump in and out and in and out. Do something, start it, finish it, then you can move on. Everything that you've listed is kind of it's had its time. When I finished high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Zero idea. Nothing about dentistry. The idea had not even crossed my mind. Because I was so interested in the health field, because I loved biology and physiology at school, but I loved art. I loved business. I loved marketing. I loved advertising. I was like, oh, what am I even going to do? I took a gap year and I did a year of volunteer work in Greece. I was working with refugees the whole year, prisoners of war, drug addicts, prostitutes. Really opens your eyes just to real life.
Doctors Without Borders. Yeah.
Doctors Without Borders, yeah. And so I worked with them for a year, and it's during that time of figuring life out and how can I be of use to humanity, really, that I said, okay, I know I'm good with my hands. I like working with detail. I know I like helping people smile, and dentistry is a good start. Because I met this dentist overseas and she was very positive. So I was like, oh, okay, dentistry. I knew I didn't want to do law or accounting, so I kind of did by process of elimination. And I was like, well, let me see, because I can always do my creative life around dentistry or the artistic life around dentistry. But you can't really do dentistry on the side of, it's not a side thing.
Full on, yeah.
Exactly. So this is how I started figuring things out. And throughout my university career, all these leather work that I did, I mean, this is something that I made. These are the sandals that I'm wearing are something that I made.
Wow, those are dope sandals. He's got a leather belt on, just hanging out in his garage making it.
The hat, the this or that. And I just like making my own thing. And it's just one of those things that's happened since childhood. I remember my parents, shame, this story is so funny. My parents we weren't those types of children that if we wanted something, my parents would immediately get it for us, If I wanted a new pair of Adidas that everyone had, I would always end up getting the shoes with 2 stripes instead of 3 stripes.
Okay.
Because 3-stripe shoes were just too expensive, and there's people suffering in our country. And this was my parents, this is how they brought us up. Just to be very conscious of those around us who don't have. Especially because of the Bahá'í teachings, of equality and unity and service to humanity, just to be really conscious of those around us, you know. So I remember I'd end up there was a cricket tour and I was in 18, and everyone was getting like the new Nike, the new Grey Nichols shoes, the new this, new that. And my mom went and bought me these like Tommy Tacky situations.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting in my room that night like drawing a Nike tick on them because I wanted Nike cricket shoes and I didn't have, so I ended up drawing it.
Put it on.
I started, that's where all of this started, from working with my hands, making things, doing things. Today it's turned into making belts and sandals and accessories. I make suits, design suits now, myself and my partner Rafael Mukendi, which everyone thankfully is really loving.
Yeah.
And that business is doing well. So all of this stuff has grown from childhood.
What do your exes say about you? What's their feedback?
You gotta ask them. I wish I didn't have exes to give feedback.
What feedback do you get though from people that meet you? Because you seem like a difficult guy to kind of put. Naturally, as human beings, we want to put people in boxes and say that person's X, that person's Y.
I hate boxes.
How do people take this sort of, you know, approach to life that you're kind of just going through it and figuring it out?
It's a very exciting thing to be able to break stereotypes.
Yeah.
You're in a radio station that is totally unradio.
Yeah.
As you guys brand it. And I want to be
typical.
I wanted to say typeable, but that's not a word. So that you can't
but you can
stereotype
make it a word.
me.
That's the thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Unstereotypable. You can't stereotype me because I hate that. Because as soon as you stereotype an individual, you're limiting that individual to your standard of knowledge, education, and that person may be able to show you a whole different angle that you've never seen. And so we generally look at individuals with a closed mind. So, okay, there has to be like this, has to be like this. Okay, this guy with tattoos has to be like this. This guy who dresses very preppy has to be like this. A dentist has to be like this. Well,
yeah, you don't look like a typical dentist.
Good. Because when you say typical dentist, what comes to mind?
Yeah, guy in a white lab coat. It's definitely not ripped jeans.
I love these.
Or who made their own little leather belt to kind of go with the jeans.
The thing is, when I'm at practice, I will dress appropriately what I feel is appropriate. I'm not going to dress like this while I'm at practice.
So what do these exes say, bro?
No comment. You go ask them. All I can say is that anyone who I've been very fortunate to be in a relationship with, I've learned a lot from.
Okay.
And they all have wonderful souls. And that's it.
Tell me about this word creativity, and if you hypothetically were in a relationship with it, like one can be in a relationship with someone on Facebook, how would you describe this relationship? So Lexleo and creativity, and do these two make out a lot? Do they fight a lot? Do they break up a lot? Do they?
These two make out a lot.
Okay.
It's so exciting. I think one thing that I enjoy about doing many things is that when I get to then spend time with one of the individual aspects of my interests, I really maximize the time. And because I'm not just in one field, I don't get bored. So I really enjoy dentistry because I'm not always a dentist. I really enjoy music because I'm not only a singer. And in terms of the music thing, I haven't even been able to give it my full attention yet because I'm still doing my master's. So like I said, everything requires time. So when I get the chance to go into studio and record and write lyrics while I'm in traffic or listen to beats that producers have sent me, I really enjoy it because I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to do this properly. But I need to finish my master's at an appropriate level because I don't know, I don't think it's on my bio, but I lecture at Wits University. First year all the way to final year dentistry. And, to be able to lecture there, it's not a joke. You have the minds of our future dentists in your hand. And you need to be able to mold it appropriately. And so you have to have a certain standard of professionalism. So when I'm a dentist, when I'm a lecturer, when I'm this, when I'm that, everything is up to the best standard I can do it. Next year, God willing, when I get to launch with my music, it will be with 150% behind it because I will now be able to give it the effort it requires. So people don't necessarily know me. Lexleo is my stage name. People don't necessarily know me as Lexleo as the singer unless they've seen a TV interview, a performance, been at one of my live performances, or follow me on social media, right? They won't know that side about me because I haven't released the song or the music video. It's next year. But everything's coming and I'm working on it and everything will have the right time.
Bro, have you always been this comfortable in your own skin? And I ask because so many people in this day and age are like petrified of being honest with themselves. They have to put the filter on the picture. They are so worried about being vulnerable.
Okay, let me tell you another interesting story. I was speaking to somebody about this. I try to do a lot of, I also do a lot of emceeing, right?
Yeah.
And this is all kind of motivational speaking type of work. But as well on the weekends, really, I have about 8 classes around Johannesburg. A combination of in the townships and in really rough areas, crime-ridden areas, that I have a lot of classes with children and youth. And there's a lot of constantly speaking about their development and being confident in who you are, and the talents God has given you and your direction and. And so I always think back on my life and how was I. Now, I grew up in a Bahá'í family, and the Bahá'í faith is a religion which really emphasizes one God, the unity of humanity, service to humanity as your motivation.
Okay.
And so I grew up in this type of a home. Very equal, no racial prejudice in my home, no economic prejudice in my home. So I grew up very locally in South Africa, right? And what this then says is, okay, one of the Bahá'í teachings is no alcohol. And I've never had alcohol in my life, right?
Wow.
And now I mean, at this age, probably since 21, 20, I'm very confident about it. I'll tell everyone. Everyone knows. Every single club owner in Johannesburg knows that I don't drink. And everyone knows and accepts me for that. And that's why I can be myself so much, right? But I remember back in high school, I was a heavy skater in high school, right?
Yeah, you're a big skateboarder, yeah.
I love skating. But skating, as we know, comes with a lot of drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
It's just the environment, right? Not all skaters are drug addicts and alcoholics. That's not what I'm saying. But skaters who are in that industry know very well what the environment is like. And so I was at a party once and someone came to me and said, yo, would you like a drink? And if you ask me now, I'd be like, no, thank you. I don't drink. I'm a Baha'i. Straight away, right? At that time, I remember I was 16 or something, and I said, no, sorry, I can't. I have a liver problem. I was not yet confident for the reaction of someone to ask me about my faith, my belief, my religion, to actually proudly put it out. But really, I'm trying to say to everyone, you shouldn't be something if you have not gone through the steps to decide and choose it for yourself. If it's because of your parents, whatever it is, not even about religion, the job that you want, the degree that you're studying, the clothes that you wear, that if someone else is pressuring you to do something that you're not comfortable with, you have to start eradicating that out of your system and becoming yourself, because that's the only way you as a unique individual can actually add value to humanity. I think you're trying to be somebody else or do something like somebody else, that's not going to come out with the best efficacy to be able to influence the world positively, So, I mean, we have 7 billion individuals who are each unique, and as sooner people start realizing that, I think the faster, better our world will become.
It's really hard, though, for a lot of people. A lot of people take a look in the mirror and they kind of just want to emulate what they see from their peers. They kind of want to be like somebody else. And I wonder, that personal journey, I mean, one can give advice for days and days and days, but it's got to come from within, right? It's got to be that internal voice that says, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to be me.
Yeah, you always have to, there's this thing that I said, if you want to fly, you have to be willing to fall. And it's this thing of, you always look up to somebody. Always. It's not like you magically live alone and figure out the world by yourself. You look up to somebody. You gain inspiration from somebody, right? And the point is to gain that inspiration and use it and then develop yourself into someone who could inspire others. You don't constantly leech off that individual. We all gain inspiration from whether our parents, whether our friends, whether a celebrity figure, and this is a big thing for the music or actually whatever I do. For example, if I'm a lecturer, I try to act in such a way as will inspire my students to work hard. If I'm a dentist, I will work in such a way to inspire my patients to be able to look after themselves the way they should.
Yeah.
If I'm a singer, and like I said, this is my purpose with the music. I really love music, and there's so many genres that I enjoy. But to become somebody known and influential, and to not use that influence positively would be the biggest waste of becoming a well-known artist.
Yeah.
So that is a lot of my motivation, is to be able to do well, put out music that people love, and have a following that I can then positively inspire. And it's not a bash on our artists, because like people know 98% of these artists are my patients and my friends. And I learn a lot from them. But I also know that a lot of our artists are not giving our children and our youth the best direction.
Yeah.
They're not. And they know it themselves. And I've sat with my friends and spoken about this. I said, look, if you put alcohol, drugs, girls, cars, materialism in every song, what are our kids going to grow up wanting to do? And you have that possibility.
And then you drill further into their mouth, you asshole.
No, terrible. No shame. No. I don't do that on the chair. That's in private things. But yeah, what a place to do it. But the point is, if you can become someone who can say, okay, cool, yeah, you don't have to always be high to enjoy a party, or always be drunk to it, or you don't have to sleep with 20 girls to get street cred, or kid. Like I said, kid.
Well, you'll get kids as well, yeah.
Exactly. But it's not the only way. And
it's a great message.
I am very conscious to be able to try to help positively steer our children and our youth, because those are our future when we're older.
Absolutely. I want to hear this music now. This music is such a big thing in your life. I want to hear. You brought a ukulele slash guitar.
This thing was in
What
my
is
car.
this?
So
of course, I can picture you getting out like random traffic light and just hanging out.
yeah, I
with
do
this
it
thing.
while I'm in heavy traffic. So this is a guitar-lele. It's an instrument that I carry with me everywhere. It's a ukulele and a guitar mixed together.
Yeah.
And really, the thing is that what I do, a lot of my music is essentially vocal rap on hip-hop beats. It's my favorite. I also have a huge love for Afro beats. So West African beats. And that's going to be a lot of the stuff that I release next year.
Cool.
There is a few songs, however, that I'll release on guitar just because I really love this sound. I'm going to sing you just one verse from one of the songs I'll release next year.
I want to just lower the blinds because the lighting's terrible and this is going to be a Snapchat video, so got to get it dope.
You do that. This song is a song that I've written. It's called One and Only. I'm currently unmarried, and so my wife, whoever you are out there, please, this is for you. It's called One and Only, and it's a very different feel. What I want is, again, don't try to box me, but people must go into my YouTube, go to Dr. Smile Lexleo TV, and you'll see the different types of things. And one time I'll be rapping Xhosa, one's over hip hop beat, one's on this, but yeah, this is One and Only. How long do we have? This is a whistle at the beginning. And if you love somebody, go. And now I want you to know it's your smile that gets me through the day when I am sad or lonely. Only yours, my one and only. And I want you to know it's your smile that keeps my heart beating when the times are tough. And I will never get enough, so never, no, stop smiling, girl, 'cause you don't know, baby, you're the sugar in my tea, the reason for the words marry me, and always, remember that if ever there a time that you are sad or lonely, searching for you, my one and only, and if for no other reason to, just smile, 'cause I love you.
Look at that, huh?
That's one of the verses.
That's super dope, bro. That's very, very cool.
Thank you.
That's really, really dope.
One thing, though, that...
What a jammer this guy is. I feel like I kind of want to... Cool, that's the end of the show. We're just going to go hang out by a bonfire.
It's one of those kumbaya instruments.
It's dope, though. Yeah, it's very transportative.
I love it. I literally, if I go overseas, I take it with me on the airplane, on this, on the train, anywhere. And it's that, like, little portable...
thing that goes everywhere with you.
Thing that goes everywhere. And I take, like, all of our artists from, I don't know, Casper Nioves to Ricky Rick to KO to AK. I take their songs and I just play around. Even Eminem, I'll play on this and I'll just take those verses and their raps and just do it on guitar just to keep my brain
so dope.
Active.
Listen, we out of time, but as you leave, no.
Always out of time.
As you leave, I want to set up a time. I actually don't want to speak to you. I just want you to do that thing where you play the AK and the Casper song.
I'm gonna come in just for that.
That's literally what we're gonna set up the time for. It's gonna be, hey Lexleo, how's it going? Good to see you. Thanks. Okay, now you can just jam.
I'll play it.
That's what we're gonna do.
I'm very happy.
Cool. Listen, bro, this has been dope. What should people take away from this interview?
Take away that each individual is very unique. they've been given unique talents and abilities to be able to make a difference. So figure that out. Use your life. Even if you use it until you're 99 years old and you're still figuring out, that's fine. If you only figure it out then, fine. But actively try to figure out why you're here and how you can contribute. And that's the best thing. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Dr. Smile Lexleo. One word.
Fantastic. Dude, thank you so much for hanging out. Next time he's here, we're literally just going to make him sing and play the ukulele guitar.
Cliff Central, Ari, thank you so much.
Power. Lexleo, thanks for hanging out, bro.
Kelman on cliffcentral.com.